SEELE. And Nat? I'm in the clinic?
Where else? You think we'd leave you on Svarog's turf?
Thank you all. I feel much better now. Sorry, Nat. I must have wasted your time.
Don't be ridiculous, Luka. Still, whatever your motivation was, I hope you can find a different outlet for it.
I'm not gonna let you off the hook that easy. There's more to this story. You need to explain what the heck got into you today. Like I said, he's a robot. No matter how good his calculations are, he's not designed to pull punches.
You're always so serious. I've said it before. This is my
Oh, slow down. You haven't completely recovered. SEELE, don't pressure him. Let him rest.
Thanks, Nat, but I'm almost recovered. I have some things to do.
Hey, where do you think you're...
Let him go, SEELE.
I really don't get him. What's that supposed to mean? If he never intended to explain anything to us, why did he drag us along? No, this is too weird. I'm gonna follow him and see what he's up to. I can't just let it go. Luka didn't used to be like this. You're not too busy these days, right? I'll give you a shout if I need help.
If you must, SEELE. Try not to worry. I don't want to see you two fighting.
Don't worry, Nat.
Now that they've left, I have a favor to ask you. It's easy for Luka to get ahead of himself sometimes, but I've never seen him this headstrong. It does make me wonder. Could you ask Oleg how Luka's been recently? I haven't seen much of him lately. It's hard for me to get the full picture. Thank you. Regardless of what's really going on, I hope none of you let small things get in the way of your friendship. See you. Please, go ask Oleg about this. Don't let small things get in the way of your friendship.
Oh? My student. Did something happen recently? I was wondering why he didn't come to see me after the championship match ended. Come, tell me about it. That does sound a little strange. Luka usually doesn't push himself so far. Huh. He may be a tough guy on the surface, but he's got his secrets. Did he tell you about the origins of his mechanical arm? Ah, then he probably didn't describe the scene in detail. That was 7 years ago? I was patrolling with some comrades in the neighboring town of Multamerville. We passed an ordinary mechanics shop. There was a serious-looking fella looking after the shop. He was probably a few years younger than me, but but his hair and beard were white as snow. There was a young lad doing odd jobs. He looked pretty exhausted. Anyway, I convinced the shopkeeper to let him come with me. LUKA was a fast learner. At first, I couldn't figure out if he liked what I was teaching him. Fighting, weapons, strategy, etc. He didn't talk a lot, just kept his head down. Then, about a year after I took him in, LUKA lost one of his arms while rescuing townsfolk from the Fragmentum in Multamerville. He almost didn't make it. He was unconscious for 2 or 3 days. I sat next to his bed, anxious and guilty. Guess what he said to me after he woke up? "Master, I feel great." He had bandages all over his body. Most of his wounds hadn't healed yet. But it was the first time he'd ever smiled at me. I still remember that expression. Oh, sorry. I get a little carried away when I tell this story. What I'm trying to say is LUKA views other people's lives as more important than his own. That's how he's always been. So when he says stuff like, "This is for training," that's probably a lie. He's hiding something from you, all right? Anyway, I'm too old to be getting involved in this stuff. I'm sure you and SEELE can sort this by yourselves. One thing I will ask, please try not to embarrass him too much, okay? He's the fighting champion of Boulder Town, after all. An idol for all the children. He needs to keep up that image.